Hey, I'm Rob. Welcome back to another exciting installment of the Holo How-To series. Today we are going to be going through this guide that you're seeing in front of you, how to set up an always-on Holochain node for your MOS group tools with Edge Node. I've got the guide ready. I've got a terminal running Fedora and Docker already pre-installed. And as a reminder, you could be doing this on your HoloPort running HoloS. You could run any flavor of Linux really that you prefer that has Docker on it. Because at the end of the day, just as a reminder, what is Edge Node? Edge Node is a container which has Holochain inside, and that makes it very easy for anyone to just type in a few commands, as we'll see today, to support what? To support your MOS group tools and other things. But today we're focusing on MOS group tools. So let's get started. What you'll need, all right, we've got our dedicated machine. We're not going to need to install HoloS. We've already got our favorite Linux distro there set up and ready to go for easy screen viewing purposes for this demonstration. So we can just skip right through this. This is just talking about setting up that test group, which we already saw was there. And then in part 2, that's getting the OS onto the HoloPort or old laptop or dedicated machine. Really, it's whatever you want. I want to hear about Raspberry Pi. I'm really curious to see someone doing this on a Raspberry Pi. Again, I'll take requests. That could be a fun exploration for the future. All right, fast forward here, and here we are. We're ready to go ahead and install and run the Edge Node container. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that pull command for Docker. I'm going to go right in here, paste that command in there, and I need to do sudo actually. There we go. It's just pulling down that latest and greatest. We'll let that complete. All right, meanwhile, let's look ahead here. So once we've pulled it, then we're going to run it. So I'll go ahead and get that queued up in my clipboard here. We'll go back, see where we're at. All right, pull complete. And there's the next command prompt. So let's go ahead and type in sudo again. And we're going to run that container. There it is. You can see right here that that was successful. Okay. Wonderful. That was a halfway wonderbar and wonderful. Wonderful. I just invented a word. All right. Access the container. Your Edge Node is now running. Yay. Okay. Now we are actually ready to go inside to that container. So that's what we're going to use here. We're going to use the docker exec command. So let's go there. And that is going to take us, you notice this. This is a little bit of magic for those uninitiated. If this is your first time, others are like, what is he doing? This is so silly. I am silly. I apologize if that is distracting, but I'm having fun, and why not? So, all right, let's paste this in. Again, for those of you following along at home, that's going to need to be sudo. What is sudo? You might not know. So that just says it's a way of saying this command requires escalated privileges, and usually you need to type in your password if you have not done so. I recently did, I believe, so it's not asking me for that. Or actually, I think OrbStack, it doesn't require you to do that. So there we go. All right, so now you can see I get a different looking prompt, and that tells me that we're inside the container. So that's pretty cool. Now let's go back here, and we're already at part 4. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to install Node.js inside. So that's going to be apk update. And that's just a command that goes and says, hey, make sure I've got all the latest and greatest for packages that are out there. So because APK is a package manager, and every Linux distro has different package manager, but in this case, APK is the one we're using. So, all right, next up, we're going to install Node.js. And we're doing this because of a cool little tool called wdocker. I should have given a little bit of a background on what is the reason for doing all this install right now inside the container. And as an important point, you want to do this inside the container, not outside of the container. I should have a diagram, but think of it like you have your HoloPort, you have your Linux OS running wherever it's running, and then the container is like a dedicated environment inside of there that has, again, Holochain and everything just configured all ready to go, so that you can not have to mess with getting the right dependencies and libraries and all of this. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so we've got that installed. Wonderful, no issues. That's what you want to see. And yeah, and again, reach out to me anytime if you ever have any issues installing anything. And it's the really easiest. Just take a screenshot, send it over, and I can take a look and help you troubleshoot. So, okay, now we're going to go ahead and install wdocker. Did I say what wdocker was yet? I don't think I did. Wdocker is basically a tool that sits inside your Edge Node container, and you can configure it so that for your MOS groups, it's like a listener, and as you add and remove tools, it will add and remove always-on nodes for those tools that you have running in MOS. So that is what we're doing here, all for the purposes of automation. Okay, great, so that's installing, and we've got a few more commands. While that's going, I'll go ahead and queue this up. Great. Cue the elevator music. If I get fancy, I will do that in post. Hopefully everybody likes the new view here. I just found out how to do this, and I'm pretty excited about it. So you guys get to see a human face, and that's always better, I think, these days. All right, let me do that one. Now we're going to go down here after we did that. Now we're installing the group client. And the last one's going to be the MOS types. Okay. Once that's ready, now we're going to go ahead, and you can rename this part here where it says my MOS node. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do that as test group MOS node. And there we go. It's going to prompt us to do a password. Let's just do that one. All right. Looks like it's downloading the binary it needs. Okay, now we're at the fun part. So we have to remember what we named it. So I think we named it, we can also go back into the terminal and see. That was test group MOS node. Okay. And we should probably add a tool. This is probably a good time to go ahead and add a tool. I think in the guide it's assuming you've already got that. So let's do this. Let's add a tool. And let's go to, how about Kando? We'll add that here. Add to group. All right. Cool. And that's just going to take a second to initialize. There it is, the spinner. And then the next thing we're going to do, actually because of, there we go, we just need this link in our clipboard here. Because of the way that wdocker works, I just needed to have a tool in there that it could go and check and do the installation for me. So I could also do multiple tools, but today we'll keep it simple. And I've got that ready to go. There we are. That's a good sign. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the guide, and we're at here, wdocker run my MOS node. So I believe this step here, we want to go ahead and have a new tab, which, let's see if there's an easy way to do this with orb stack. It's actually going to be interesting to see if I just click terminal, if it gives me a new one. There it is. Okay, so now we'll, oh, but I probably, yeah, but I need to get back into that container. So what are we going to do? Well, this is cool. So we can just do here, and we'll do docker ps. Oh, sudo docker ps. And you can see that's the container. All right, great. So that's a good sign. Now we're just going to go, it's already running. So now we're just going to go back here and get that exec command and give me a prompt inside. Oh yeah, sudo. So funny. I'll remember it. I'll remember it. By the end of this video, I will remember sudo for these commands. All right, so now that we're there, we're going to go back down to this command. And important, use quotes around the invite link. Okay, we got it. So let's do this. Let's actually do copy here, and I'm just going to go below, and I'm actually going to get my invite link, which is no longer in my clipboard. And you get that through, if you didn't see that, let me do that again. So where you get that invite, you go to your peers, you go to invite people, and then it's this one right here. So I've got that copied to the clipboard. Now we're going to go back here. And actually, excuse me, we're going to go back here. We're going to overwrite that. We've got the quotes. We're going to copy here so that we get that whole command. And I'm going to paste that in. Okay. Oh, do you see what we did? Let's see if those following at home can figure out where we went wrong with that command. All right, if you guessed it, my MOS node, that rename decision, yeah, that's what we did. So we need to go back here, and we need to put, what was it? We said test group MOS node. And let's just double check that. Not here, Rob. It's going to be here. Let me scroll back up. Test group MOS node. Boom. Okay. So now we've got the right command. We're going to go grab that again. And this time over to this prompt. And we're going to paste that in. And now it should work. All right. Oh, we have to enter our conductor password. Okay. How do you want this node to be named inside the group? Let's just do wdocker Rob. Choose a description for this node. Always online for Rob. All right, this is good. Listing apps, installing app, enabling app. Well, you can read as well. Great, and you can see it here. Let's just do a check. That is the, maybe it's on this one, hold on. Let's go down here. Yes. I'm looking for anything that says Kando. Another way we could verify this. Well, this wasn't here before. So this is the Holochain matrix telling us something's happening. So let's go back here into Moss. And let's see. Well, it's weird right now that it's saying 0 online. So there might be something going on with my Moss right now. But any which way, let's see, maybe if we might do like a reload in Moss might be the way to go here. Okay. All right, well, this might be something specific to me. Another thing we can be doing, let's just go ahead and jump over to the Holo community Moss group. And I'm going to go ahead and get that invite link. And we're going to try that out next, because you're not just limited to one as well. So let's go ahead and create that same command here. So we're going to just paste in this joining code right there. And this one we're going to rename to Holo Community Moss Node. Okay, and then back here, all right, a conductor with name Holo Community Moss Node does not exist. Ah, okay, that's right. That's because I didn't create that yet. So what does that mean? That means we need to go back and repeat what was it? Test group Moss Node. So we're going to need to use that same nomenclature, but we'll keep that joining code the same. All right, let's try that again. Conductor password. How do you want this node to be named? We'll say wdocker Rob. Description, always on for Rob. Okay. Now, as you guys know, it might take a while to show up, but let's just go ahead and see what we see. There we go. It's over here. Something is happening. There we go. It just took a little while. So the same thing will be happening in the background for our Holo community node, but I just wanted to show you that's the fireworks. Pew, 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 pew. So we've got our headless nodes showing wdocker Rob. That was the first one that we set up here in the test group. And what's that going to do? That's going to basically be listening. And so if I were to install new tools, then it's also going to install over here on your headless node. That's another name for something that doesn't have a user in a peer-to-peer system, right? All of these other folks are running their Moss inside of their normal computer desktop environment, and so as just to if that wasn't clear, just to explain that. So like this Rob that you see here is actually on my Mac, and the gossip from Holochain, which is you can think of it as all the data that's being passed around so that we can use applications like Candu and other tools here. that data is being gossiped from peer to peer in the system. There are no servers for any of this, which is just, when you really think about it, mind-blowing. And in future videos, I'll go deeper in the weeds on all of the different tools that are available now for free to anyone, which I think is incredible. We use Presence, for example, to replace Zoom, and it works amazing. But any which way, that's a little bit of a publicity for the tools, and I will really enjoy going deeper in the weeds on that. But today I think we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish. Let's just go back to our guide and take another look. All right, so we've got the wdocker working for us. We see it there with us in Moss in our test group, and that's it. Yeah, and you can see, just going down the list here, like this is at the end of the guide, you can just see a quick little description of what these tools do and what you could use them to replace. So worth playing around with, I'd say, considering again that this is all free and does not require any servers and you own your own data. That's a pretty good offer, I think. So thank you guys for following along, and I'll just give you guys a reminder. If you have any help, I know that, you know, as we were going through that, there was a lot of back and forth, and I even got hung up, you know, getting the command just right a couple of different times, and that's totally fine. I want you guys to know, like, this is not something, you're not going to break your computer playing around like this. It's just it just takes a little bit of trying a little bit of elbow grease and trying to figure out, you know, if things go, you know, wire cross, things go a little bit funky with a command. And you know, these days you can also just plug commands into Google and get a pretty accurate response back in terms of what might be going wrong and what to try next. So with that said, find me in Telegram on the Edge Node support group. Let me know how it's going for you and all the cool things that you're doing with your Moss groups. And I'll see you for the next one, guys. Have a good day. Ciao.